What is up, everyone? I am Sergey with my mess with this day, and welcome to part 2 of the games we removed from the backlog of 2023. This is basically going to be the games that did not make the best list, nor did they make the worst list. I mean, some of these games are, a couple of these games are terrible, but on the other hand, a couple of games are really, really good. That, again, did not make the best list, but at the same time are nowhere near terrible. And it's just assortment of games. Now, with this section, I'm actually going to go through these rapid fire because, believe it or not, we actually beat 63 games. I know I said in the last video that I beat 62, but believe it or not, one more game actually managed to sneak in at 63 this year. And I was able to fit it in. So, and I'll get to that at the end of the video, but for now, we have a lot of games to talk about, so let's go through these rapid fire. First game we have to talk about, game number 1, starting with game number 1 and going to 63. We have an awesome game, but a very expensive one, Rhythm Heaven Fever. I played this game a lot, but I haven't been able to remove it from the backlog, so I finally decided, I'm going to play this game again. I'm glad I did, because I love this game. And I'm definitely going to be going back to this one anytime soon. But like I said, this is an expensive game, very hard to find. This is now going for like 160 to 200 bucks. I've seen eBay copies go listed for like 220. So if you can get this game now while you can, might as well, because I see this one going into the $250 to $300 range. This possibly could be now like the most expensive. This could top Cyber Bacon's Veggie World as the most expensive Wii game because of how unique it is. So what I would say is get this one now while you can. But this is actually my charger copy, which is why it's in a box protector. I got this bike in 2015 for $10 back on Amazon because I wanted to play it so bad. And I'm glad I did, because now this is going for a lot of money. Alright, so our first RPG we beat in this year. Unfortunately, we did not beat a lot of RPGs, but on the positive, we beat 2 games in the series that I'm not going to say what it is till we get to the best list, because it's actually a little bit of a secret to tell you. I'm ready to reveal. But for our first RPG of 3, actually, technically 2 for this video, because one of them is actually making the best list. But our first RPG of the 3, technically 2, is Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. I played Omega Ruby all the time. So I wanted to replay this one, but I said, I'm going to play the Alpha Sapphire version, so I did not play that. And I'm glad I did. Kyogre is such a badass. Legend of Pokemon the Catch is just an awesome game. So, pretty cool. Next game, number 3. NECA Museum Remix. This one I actually will be getting rid of. Which I don't want to get rid of stuff like this, but these are like super common games, and the minigames are not that great. Plus, I'm actually not considering the racing. It's actually not in the best shape. So, like I said, I will be getting rid of this one, but I wanted to make sure it's in a video before I get rid of it. Next game, number 4 is Nor 9 for Commons. And now, this is a little bit of a story to tell you with this one. So, this one, I got the neutral ending. There's an extra ending you need to get, but there's like a lot of routes. Okay, I spent a lot of hours into this one, but it's just not one that's like, okay, I know what this type of game is, but I'm just not gonna come back to it again because this is what I need to get. I was like, yeah, you know what? No thanks. I think I'm good, because I got like a Civic. Because the ending was, and I don't know what the hell happened. So, yeah, honestly, if anybody knows more about tone games and how many of them, because I feel like most out of all the Switch library, it's the worst of tone games on Switch. Like, let me explain. 10% of the Switch library is shovelware garbage, and then after that, 15% of the Switch library are tone games. That means 75 Switch library for 75% of actual good games, of actual games. And this is one of those tone games, so it's still a game, but it's all the rage in Japan, just saying. So our next game, game number 7, we're skipping the game number 7 now. We got Quake Fighter, which I actually got this from my brother Theo. Thank you very much, Theo. But again, This one, I thought was okay. It didn't have the exceptional combo moves, but I did look it up of how to get the ending. In order to get the ending, you need to beat the game on normal difficulty. I beat the game on easy difficulty, and I think that's good enough for me. Yeah. Alright, sorry, I actually had to sneeze. Alright, game number 6 is Mario Party 6. I'm going to say game number 8, but game number 8 is Mario Party 6. Probably the best of the game, one of the better of the GameCube Mario Parties. People say this is the best one. Although my personal favorite Mario Party is Mario Party 3. I mean, that's always going to be my favorite. And Mario Party 6, is one of the better ones I played. But there is one problem I have with this game. That's the fact that in order to see the ending of this game, you need to basically grind up and get stars. Not only that, they give you very little stars. You can play a 50-turn board only to get like so little stars. And handicaps don't count, honestly. So you need to... Oh my god. So that got real cold. But yeah, Mario Party 6, great game, but difficult to get the ending for this one. So that's why I gave it a much lower score than I should have. Because if it wasn't for that, if they actually added a story mode, then I think that would have been a 9 out of 10. Just saying. Anyway, next number 9 is Tetris Axis, which this one I just beat. I did all the modes in this one to beat the game, and I think that's good enough for me. Other than that, it's actually one of the better than Tetris, but it's Tetris. Moving on. Our next game number 10, is WarioWare DIY. This one was a little bit unexpected. And while it's actually unique and creative, my main problem with this game is that there's not a lot of story to it. I mean, it's cool that they gave Penny some screen time, but actually, this is actually the final game in the Mario timeline, within my expertise, and for being the final game in the Mario timeline, this one could have been a lot better than it was, unfortunately. Game number 11 is Kirby Superstar Ultra. Fantastic remake. Everyone the best. I was also Kirby Superstar Ultra is a great game, but this one is just even better. Though I will love to get the Super Nintendo one at some point, because actually I'm going for Super Nintendo sets. I will need to get a hold of it, but it's still very cool. Game number 12 is a Retro Playton, which is actually one of the more interesting titles on the DS. It's not really a game; it's mostly a music maker, but it is an interesting piece in Nintendo history. So I'm very glad to have it. Other than that, it's basically a music piece. Game number 13, and this is our first. This is our first and probably only. No wait. Actually, don't think there's another one, but this is our first game that we beat a game in compilation, but we do not have the game for it. And we're not talking about Metal Slug because I already talked about Metal Slug already, but this is Mega Man Legacy Collection in a vein that we beat Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 was a fantastic game. One of my favorite Mega Man titles out there. I'm actually so glad I beat Mega Man 2 because I never thought I actually would beat it. But that was actually the first time I beat Mega Man 2. For being the first time, I'm very glad I beat it. So that puts me at 5 of the 6 classic Mega Man titles to beat. And unfortunately, 1 is obviously going to be the hardest, which I'm not looking forward to. So I would have loved to get a lot of Mega Man Legacy Collection on the PS4. But still glad I have the 3DS version because it's not. But even better is it's actually Amiibo. It's Amiibo compatible. Remember those? Yeah, probably not. All right. Game number 14, and is Aladdin. Game number 14 is Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. Now this one we beat on the PS4, but I do have an actual copy of it, so I can show you the actual copy. Yeah. So what a really great game that takes on the magical carpet ride. No, I'm not gonna sing the song because I'm gonna do terrible at it. I'm not a good singer, to be honest. But this is a great game. I actually would love to get the Super Nintendo one, but Super Nintendo one is super cheap. I'll find the Super Nintendo one somewhere. But this is a great game. Highly recommended. The people say that Jason's version was better, and I don't know why. Because it felt like the movie. Let me just move this up top. There we go. Game number 18. Game number 18 is Puyo Puyo Tetris. Now, this one was very disappointing. But for one, first of all, 2 years ago, I put a Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 on, which actually had a good amount of problems, but which had some problems, but which I enjoyed it. The original title, on the other hand, I did not enjoy as much as the second one. Not saying I enjoyed the second one that much, because the second one is actually, it fixes a lot of problems, but still disappointing. This one in particular, while it is newcomer friendly, kid friendly, my main problem with it is two problems. Number one, the harder modes are introduced like way at the end. Like there's two modes in the game that I was like, okay, I think I'm really close to beating this game, and I just want to get this game done. Second, this was made for little kids who want to get into puzzle games, and we cannot, but to actually master something like Tetris. But again, I know that Puyo Puyo is big in Japan. I like Puyo Puyo, but I'm not good at Puyo Puyo. But I much rather play an original Super Nintendo Famicom Puyo Puyo game than this. Was Art Ninja is actually the main character. I just found out that Art Ninja is actually the main character, the main protagonist of the main mascot of the franchise, and that kind of destroyed my hopes. Because the Puyo Tetris games going forward, it focuses on let's see if I can get it. This girl with the red hair. I think her name's Ringo. I think that's her name. Could be wrong. If anyone knows her name, let me know. Because I forget things pretty easily. But it focuses on that girl. So if anybody knows, but yeah, this is not a good game, honestly. Moving on. And our game number 20, and the final game for our first stack, is Hasbro Family Game Night 2. Now this one I just played all the games. I didn't play the GameStop version. With this one you do need to have a second controller. It's not gonna be a game I'm gonna play, but this one I might give to 34, honestly. To be honest, I'm not gonna be the same remix. But other than that, I will be getting rid of this one, or I might give it a 34. Who knows? Alright, so that is basically our first stack. Let's move on to game number 21. Actually, before we get to game number 21, but I also want to actually, let me just move this stack. There we go. Alright, game number 20. Alright, game number 21 is Undertale. Okay, technically this is not related to game number 21. I have this one in yellow, but that's because with this one in particular, I needed help with this one. I got to a boss, and after I got an ending that doesn't let me continue, I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? What's going on? So I played through the game. I was loving it, and then after that, I pretty much got that ending. I was like, what did I do? I tried everything I can. I literally worked up a guide to get help. Nothing is working. So, and it's really at the first boss. If anybody knows what it is, please let me know. I will post about this on Instagram. So if anybody knows about that, let me know. Our next game number 23. 22. Wait, which one? Just realized I wanted them to. Actually, just realized that 22 is actually one of the worst games I played, and I just talked about that, so we don't need to talk about it again. Thank God. Game number 23 is Super Mario 3D Land. One of the better Mario games out. This is actually one of the first Mario games I got. First games I got for the 3DS. It's actually my childhood copy. This is an awesome game. It is sad that this is stuck on the 3DS, unfortunately, and it's never been re-released compared to 3D World, which has been released, because that's a better game. But this is still a really great game for how unique it is and how original it was to the 3DS. I mean, this thing because again, this was one of the first games that came out on the system, which I think was really cool. Next, game number 24 is Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Miniland Mayhem. another childhood favorite. But this one was actually a little bit set back with the 3D Land. Not saying they're connected because this is a spin-off and 3D Land is a main one entry. But this is a so good game. But for being the last Mario game on DS, I think they could have done a little better. Like my main problem with it is not really the game itself. It's actually just the harder mode that you have to do. The harder mode where they have to do. It's actually the second half where you do the plus mode. That was actually way harder than you realize. It's the one that I just had to use a guide to get past those levels because I just could not do it because that's how difficult they were. But still, a really good game. I'm glad to get this one removed from the backlog once again. Speaking of games I played a long time ago, removed from the backlog, game number 25 is Pac-Man Party, which I enjoyed this one way than most people. But my main problem with it is that it tries way too much to be an anniversary game compared to being like an actual good game, but still a very fun game. And you might be thinking, why am I getting rid of not giving it a remix when this game has Pac-Man and Addicted and Galaga. Well, you know what? The reason I want to get rid of remix is because well, I'm not going for complete restart, but also the fact that not gonna be saying Mix is definitely the better game. I know it's actually. I mean, it's still the same. It's still the same game, but you know what? But Mega Mix is actually one that I'd much rather have. Because that one has way more games, and it's actually it's actually the better version. So that's why I'm gonna get rid of it. Still a common game, obviously, but you know what? I much rather play that compared to the remix version. So that's why I'm getting rid of remix. And I'll be glad I do. Skipping to game number 28, we got Metal Slug Double X. So I know that I said that I wasn't gonna talk about a Metal Slug game because I already talked about them last time, but that was actually the games in the Metal Slug anthology, except for Metal Slug 6, which I'm probably gonna play the Wii version. I don't know, but that's not including Metal Slug 6. However, the Metal Slug game we did not talk about it in the last video was Metal Slug Double X. Which means we're not, let's talk about it here, because I love the Metal Slug series. One of my favorite video game franchises of all time. I cannot express enough things about it. Double X, well, sadly being the final entry of the franchise before Metal Slug Tactics releases, which I don't know when that's going to come out, because it's been a while. But, this is still a great ride. This is basically an updated version of Metal Slug 7, but I actually think this is the best way to play Metal Slug 7. Even better is that you can actually play this game on PS4. So you don't even need to spend. I think you do honestly because you need to spend a little bit of money. But you know what? You don't have to track down this version now, because you can really play this game on the PS4, which I think is really cool. Now again, for me, I'm gonna hold on to this because I do love this franchise. But pretty much with this one and the Metal Slug games that I did, that I moved from the backlog, I am down to technically two. Okay, you're technically speaking Metal Slug 6, and then after that, technically, I'm also missing Metal Slug Advance, which that one's extremely hard to find. And then if you want to be way too technical, there's also the Metal Slug Neo Geo Pocket Color games, which think those have been re-released. But I'm actually try to see if I can get actual copies of those, which I don't think I will, but still out there. Skipping to game number 30, we have Super Street Fighter 4, which I really enjoyed. One of my favorite Street Fighter. This game this gave me back into fighting games but I'll give him that I'm not good at fighting games, but still an awesome game. One of my favorites out there. I'll be right back because I need to check what game number 33 is. Wow, two of them that already made the worst list and one of them that made the best list. So pretty much we are skipping to game number 34, which is Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi. Love this game. One of my favorite arcade boards, and one of my favorite Dreamcast games out there. This is actually one of the first Dreamcast games I have, one of the only ones I have, but still an awesome game. I actually prefer this version over the GameCube version, but I still get the GameCube version, but I still prefer that version. And right now we are skipping once again Actually, no, take it back. We have one. We have another, one more. I just realized we actually have one other game before that. Game number 36 is Tailgater. Which I will take out the cartridge. Here it is. This is definitely an uncommon one. Though I only acted like I hate this game. This is actually a really fun game, but it's actually way too difficult. At least for my expertise. I do like it a lot more than Spakey's Quest, because for that one, you get hard points and hard experience. And there's basically unlimited continues, and even better, so you can basically when you use a continue, you basically start at where the last time you saved it. And well, Spakey's Quest has passwords, but that one you basically start at the last level you beat in. So I thought the game's actually really not kind to you, which is something I cannot say about Spakey's Quest. But it's weird because this came out before Spakey's Quest. Weird. But I'll take it. Game number... we'll just put this over there. There you go. Game number 37 is Ghost Squad, which is one of my favorite arcade game parts. Very obscure game, which I'm glad I beat it. This one I actually beat at 104 during the summertime, because I got this game alongside deal. I brought it. I was gonna play it by myself. One of the mentors was like, "It was an awesome mentor. I love Aiden," but he was like, "Maybe why don't you play multiplayer?" I am glad I did, because this is actually even a great game, and it's even better with co-op. Though I do feel like the reward points could be a little better, but still an awesome game. I'm actually gonna play this game again. By myself in the future. But still an awesome game. Game number 38, and it's weird about this one, is Big Brain Academy, which is basically it's a good game, but it's not really a game. It's mostly where you learn stuff and train your brain. Other than that, it's training your brain. Moving on. Game number 39 is actually a little bit of a weird one. We have the title Legends, but it's actually an arcade game. And the game I'm talking about, the game that's on the WB, is Battle Shark. The Battle Shark in particular is one of the most boring fucking games I ever played in my fucking life. I get it, technically it's a shoot 'em up, but it's not really a space shoot 'em up. It's not really a vertical scroll shoot 'em up or a horizontal sort. But it's a first person submarine shoot game, where basically you're shooting missiles and just shoot enemies. It's not that good. But I am glad I do have the first title Legends. I need to get a hold of the second one. And now I can finally play one game I've been wanting to play for a while, which is Elevator Action Returns. Hopefully I'll get the second one, because I really want to play that one. And that's actually the only English release it got. So cool that you got an English release. It's just because it's like, okay, there's no way I'm going to play it. I don't got an English release. I will be right back while we will get our final stack. Alright, I'm back. Game number 41 is The Magical Quest, starring Mickey Mouse, which I really enjoyed this game. It's actually a really, really fun game, and for being like a Mickey Mouse game. And I think which is really cool is it's actually made by Capcom. Yes, that Capcom, who have made some really awesome games. Especially on Super Nintendo. They still make awesome games to this day, but this one is one of my favorite games. It's actually one of those Capcom Disney games, which obviously makes it really shine. Why I saw in games like DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Goof Troop, which I actually just got that one not so long ago, which is an awesome game. But this one's which was really cool. And I'm very glad to actually have it complete in the box. Skipping to 45, we have Maneater. Oh my god, I love this game. But I do have a hidden. I will be talking about it in Hidden Gems video. Actually, by the time this video goes up, the Hidden Gems video, which by the way, I have to wait so many times, but by the time this video goes up, the Hidden Gems video will already be out. Which is, again, I had to delay it, but that video's coming. The video's coming, guys. I promise. I did promise. I said that I have it in. It's in the works, honestly, and it had to delay, but it's coming. Now this one is a little tricky. This one, I got to almost 90%, 99% of the way done. And then I got to the final boss, and I just couldn't beat it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I did see every day. I'm good. And I'm glad I am good, because I love this game. Even better, so I played this at 34, and my mentor Jane it was one of my mentors, Jay, and Chindish was able to watch me finish this game. So I think that was really cool, and which is makes this game even better for me. Love this game. One of my favorite, one of the best hidden gems out there. And not to mention, you play as Joss. Enough said. Unfortunately, this game did not make the best list. Because well, I actually didn't see I didn't really beat the game. I got to the final boss, but I seen everything I wanted to see, and I think that's good enough for me. Game number 46. Next is NHL 16. This did not make the worst list, because honestly, I don't feel it's fair to put a sports game at the worst list. Unless it's really, really bad. I don't think it's fair to put a sports game on the worst list, because it's or nor the best list either. Unless it's really unique to one another. This one I gave a 3 out of 10 because honestly I am not good at the game. So that's why I gave it. If you're more good at it than I am, that's fine. I'm just not good at it. That's why I didn't want to mention it. I didn't make the worst list. But again, both games were really bad in order to make the worst list. I just walked to them because I was like, okay, I'll walk in sports games. I'm glad they did, but at the same time, I don't know why I did. Game number 47 is New Super Mario Bros. Which is gonna be it's a great game. Actually, a masterpiece of a game. I love this game because that's how easy it is for you to get into video games. But I played this game so many times, honestly. I think it's time for me to move on to some new adventures. I'm gonna just there you go. I think it's time for me to move on to some new adventures, but still on us. So this is actually gonna be my last time playing this game, but I want to get in the video. Game number 48 is Madden NFL 2003. I know I shouldn't really be playing this game, but Madden really invokes the spirit of Thanksgiving. Even though Thanksgiving is past, I will say it. I'm not gonna play the clip, honestly. Maybe I will, but I'll write things I should. But I'll say it. EA Sports, it's in the game. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. I'm just kidding. It's not Thanksgiving. Game number 50 is Mario DS. Another one that sadly did not make the best list. So it doesn't change the fact that this is one of the best Mario Kart games out there. I love this game. Actually, this is my treasure copy. I got this game. Actually, the treasure copy that still survived to this day. Like, holy shit. And I did start off from where I left off of this, but I'm glad I finished it. And I finished on 150cc. But I think it makes it even better. There's actually a true ending to this game, which plays a different song. So in order to hear the full version, but still one of my favorite Mario Karts. And I'm finally got to finally have this game done. Love this game. Game number 51, our second RPG of the video. Custom Robo. Great game. This would have been a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for one problem. I only have one problem with this game, and that's the fact that they overdo the amount of device the game gives you, and that can be really, really annoying. But other than that, this is a great game. The characters are likable. The story's really good. I know this is technically not an RPG, but it does have RPG elements. It's like, you know what? It's an RPG. I saw it as an RPG. I'm going to count it as an RPG. And I'm glad I got this game when I did, because this is one I wanted to try out for a while. And even though little did I know that it is an RPG. So, very glad to have this. Oh, this one I beat in the start of the game. There's actually an extra story mode that you do need to beat in order to see the true ending, but still an awesome game. Game number 52. Game number 52 is Tetris Worlds. Once again, it's Tetris, but in space. Moving on. Game number 53 is NBA 2K2, another basketball game that I would say it's just basketball. Move on, but this is actually the best basketball game I played. The controls are very tight. The game moves smooth. This is actually really a fantastic game. I don't know why. If it wasn't a fantastic game, I would just say it's basketball, but it's actually really good. Highly recommend this one. It's actually super cheap. Don't get the GameCube version. That's the best version. Skipping the game number 55, we have Super Mario Land 2, another game, our second and final Game Boy game this year. We beat it this year. I am so glad I beat this game. Though this one I actually beat on Switch Online, and that's actually gonna, and this is setting Spanky's class. And there's actually a few games I will mention. Some of these games I actually beat on Switch Online. What I like to count Switch Online as basically the easy mode for Super Nintendo games. If certain games are hard to shed, play them on easy Switch Online, because that game has the rewind feature and you can rewind to separate parts. So, though some games it's gonna be very difficult with the rewind feature, like racing games in particular. So, or Zelda games, I don't know. Which I kind of spoiled it, but it's whatever. All right, next up, moving on to our next three games, and I'm gonna combine them together, except for one, which I will talk about more in detail in the best list. Because one of them actually made the best list, but I did beat them in all three in the Super compilation. So game number 56, 57, and 58. Is Super Mario Bros. 1 through 3 on which we do have a card for Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario All Stars, and we actually played all these on Switch Online via Super Mario All Stars. Now I'm actually going to talk about Super Mario Bros. 3 in more detail for that one, since that one did make the best list. But for right now, we'll talk about Mario 1 and 2. Super Mario Bros. 1. Well, it is a classic that still holds up to this day. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What did I take that? Let me rephrase that. Well, it is a classic, and let's say the video game industry, it actually has not held aged well. Still a classic, but definitely not aged the best. Although I do recommend you play Super Mario All Stars. And Super Mario Bros. 2 was definitely the hardest of the three, but also the weakest, because of how difficult it was. But still a great game. Game number 50. Well, we're almost done, guys. 4 more games. It's 5, but 3 more for 4 more for this part. Game number 59 is Mario Party 5, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually glad I beat this game, but this game was probably my least favorite of the Hudson Soft era. Actually, Mario Party was probably my least favorite of the Hudson Soft era. Mario Party. It's not a bad game, but compared to the other ones, this is my least favorite. Yes, it's worse than Mario Party. I find a lot weaker than Mario Party fans, I'm gonna be honest. But not a bad game, just very disappointing. And now we got our final 3 Super Nintendo games. Our last 3 games are all Super Nintendo games. It's because I've been going ham with Super Nintendo, so I'm very excited to get these ones marked off the list. Game number 61 is Saturday Night Swim Masters. Which I really enjoyed this game. There's actually a title battle you have to beat in order to beat this game. But I was like, I beat this game long enough. I think I'm good. I'll beat this game again, but I want to get this on Twitter. But awesome game. Game number 62 is one I actually just got recently. Is Biker Mice from Mars. This is a really awesome game. Pretty good game. But this is actually one of the hardest games I've ever played. Like had to use so many continues and take a picture of so many passwords just so that I can get through this. But even Gray said this too, because they have to beat this game on hard to only see the true ending. So, but I am glad I beat this game on normal, and I played as one of the main characters. This is another uncommon one, so be aware about this one. And our final game of 2023, and one that this game really sneaked in for being the final game of 2023, and that game is Art of Fighting. Now I got this game already. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to beat every Super Nintendo game and more get some check marks out of the way. This one was really cool because today I beat the game on super easy mode, but basically with this game, With this game in particular, I beat the game This game actually I would have beat this game right after I recorded the worst twist. So it's actually kind of ironic, but you know what? I'm glad I did because I'm glad this game did not make the worst twist. Otherwise, I would not be able to talk about it. So I'm talking about it here. But still an awesome game. And that being said, that is all for the games that did not make the worst twist or the best twist. But we still have the best twist, the best of the best. The games I have really enjoyed this year. Because two of them would be some of my favorite games of all time. Check in for part 3, where we will talk about the top 10, my top 10 favorite games. Not one of my favorite games I played, my favorite best games, or specifically my favorite games I played that I might beat in this year.